Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Links and this is Links Art. Have you ever wondered or thought of what the H and the B simply means inside your graphite set, and as well what all this grading simply means? Now, if that is something you've been thinking about, then today you need to stop worrying, because I'm going to be discussing and explaining all that alongside with some misconceptions and misunderstanding a lot of persons get with regards to their graphite pencils. If that is something you love, make sure to click and subscribe to the channel, ring out the bell so you don't miss any of my tutorials. It might cost you nothing but mean a lot to me, so I would love you to click that subscribe button as we move on. Graphite are crystalline carbon-based minerals that are gotten from rock, which are used for different purposes alongside drawing. Now, the graphite in itself alone is a very soft mineral. It might be surprising to you to know that the pencils you have for your drawing are made up of two things, which is the graphite and as well clay as a binder to enable you get something like this, which you use for your drawing. So guys, let's get a little bit detailed and practical here. So now I'm going to be using this brand of pencil as an example. This is a brand of pencil I love using a lot when it comes to graphite pencils, and I'm going to show you. So this is how your graphite works. The more clay added to your graphite material, the harder it becomes and the more difficult it is to scrub off on the paper, making the graphite value very light, giving you the H value, which is hardness. Now, the lesser clay added to your graphite make it much more easier to scrub off from the pencil, hence giving you a very dark value. One of the most common pencils ever known is the HB value. The HB value is the pencil that stands in between every single one of them. This is the value that stands in between your B value and as well the H value, giving you the HB. So this is a medium range pencil that gives you the best of your mid-tone. So the numbers you are seeing are just emphasis to tell you that one is darker than the other, and it has a numbered gradation. Your H2 is lighter than your HB, your H3 is lighter than H2, same thing all the way to H5. H5 is the hardest and the lightest pencil we have here. Same thing to your HB. Now for some pencil brands, you will hardly see the B here. You are only going to see from H to B and then down to 9B as they will have it. So there is no universal way of grading pencil. It all depends on the company and how they want to grade their pencil. Your graphite mineral is very dark. When clay is added to it, it gets a lot tougher and it becomes very hard for it to scrub off from itself. So the thing is, it's not as if your 8B and the hardest of pencil, which is your 5H, has a lot of difference. The only difference is the clay content in them. The amount of clay added or removed determines the value it gives you. So now a lot of persons tend to misunderstand this, and they are so obsessed about all these values and they end up using all these graphite pencils. Here is something that might change your mentality with regards to graphite pencils. As a professional artist, you necessarily do not need all this range of pencils to get these values you want. With the use of these four pencils, which is your hardest pencil, your HB pencil, which serves as a bridge to your lightest and darkest value, your 4B pencil, which is normally known as your master pencil, and the darkest of values inside your pencil, is enough to create all these values we are seeing here. And I'm going to show you this practically. So I will be taking my H pencil and I will be shading under these pencils to create the exact thing you are seeing at that top area. So this is one. In order for me to get the 4H, I need to apply more pressure to this to get the 4H if I want to. So I just got this. Now it will not be nice to continue with my H5, because the more pressure I add to this, the bumpier is going to look. So I'm going to drop this and I'll be moving on with my HB pencil. With my HB pencil, I can still get the 3H you are seeing here smoothly and neatly and move on. I can still at the same time get the 2H value you are seeing here, without any stress. It all depends on how I apply the pressure I want. I can still move on to get my HB value with just my HB pencil, which is the actual value for it. Now, don't be surprised to know that you can still use your HB value to move all the way to your B value. It all depends on the pressure that is added to it. But let me warn you, if you are using a hard pencil to try to get a darker value, you might likely end up create bumps on your paper because the pressure will not be nice, which will result to reflection. So you want to stop using that hard pencil for your lighter values and move to your 4B. Now with my 4B pencil, there is something I love about 4B pencil. I can get all the way from my 2B down to even the 8B, but I will not try that. As we move on, I'm going to show you why. So I just got my 2B, moving to my 3B as well. I'm going to add a little more pressure to make sure I get that value I want. Now moving to the actual value. So here we have the 4B value. I can still move on to 5B if I want to, all the way down to my 8B. There is not much difference between your 4B graphite pencil and your 8B graphite pencil. The only difference is that there is less clay in your 8B than your 4B pencil. But regardless of that, your 4B is soft enough to give you your 8B value without causing bumps on your paper. So if I would want to use my 8B pencil to get this 8B value, I can do that, but I'm still going to use my 4B pencil to move all the way to my darkest value, which is the 8B value. As you can see here, a 4B pencil was the final one I used to get this 8B. So at the end of the day, it all boils down to the experience you've gained and understanding you have with regards to your pencil values. It doesn't really matter the brand of pencils you are using, as long as you love the brand and it's giving you exactly what you want, you can stick with that brand. As you can see, I got every single value with just 3 pencils, which is the H5, HB pencil and the 4B pencil. Now, I will not advise anybody to use your 4B pencil to range all the way to your 8B value, because some values can really be funny and they will be a lot lighter. Some 4B values can be a lot lighter. So it all depends on how you understand your graphite pencil. Now, this is what I mean. Here is our famous Staedtler graphite pencil 4B, and this is a 3B graphite pencil from HB brand. Now I'm going to be testing out these two pencils and you are going to see the difference between these pencils. Now take note, this is a 4B and this is a 3B. This Staedtler is expected to be way darker than this HB 3B value, but watch what happens as I test this out, starting with the Staedtler. Okay, I think I've done this for quite a while now. Let me stop. Now you see how dark this can go. I don't want to press too much on the paper so it does not get bumpy, which will really not be nice. Now I'm going to apply the same pressure as I did here and see what happens. I don't even think I'm going to stay as long as I did with the Staedtler because the difference is completely obvious. I think I'm going to stop now. Now, if you take a look at these two values, you can see the difference. Here is the 4B of Staedtler and here is the 3B of this HB brand of pencil. And you notice that the HB is a lot darker than this 4B, despite it being a 3B pencil and this a 4B pencil. So now, what if I try using the 4B of this HB brand of pencil? Now, it took me just a few seconds to get this way darker than the Stedler. So you see the difference. This is the match to our Stedler graphite pencil. Now, I'm not saying the Stedler brand of pencil is bad. So in essence, what I'm trying to say is that some brand of pencils can be way darker than other brand of pencils despite having a lower value, as we can see here with Stedler. It's not that Stedler's graphite pencil is bad. That is how they've decided to grade their pencils. Now, the equal to this 4B pencil might be their 8B. I know of Stedler having 12B as one of their darkest values, as you can see here. Sorry, it's not really that clear. As you can see, this is a 12B brand of pencil from Stedler. The gradings are not always the same. They don't follow a universal pattern of grading. From my own observation, the 4B of Stedler is an equivalent to the HB of this HB brand. So it all depends on how the company produces their pencils and how they decide to arrange their values. For me, I am really good with the HB brand. I love the HB brand because of the depth and a few other reasons that make me love this brand of pencil. So guys, that is basically how your graphite pencils work. It all depends on the company and how they are being produced, and left for you to decide which brand of pencil suits you best and stick with those brand of pencils. If you're loving what I'm doing here, make sure to click the subscribe button, ring all the bell so you don't miss any of my tutorial. Make sure to watch other videos in this channel to get more enlightenment with regards to art and creativity. Till I see you next time, keep creating.